I want to thank Raccoon City Police Department for all of the work they're doing in the community as they're keeping the zombie scourge away from our children, as we need to protect our children.
This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Umbrella Corporation. Umbrella, making a way for a better tomorrow.
Yes. Tell me this is recording.
It is.
Yeah. Oh shit, man.
I'm Jean-luc.
I'm Kool-Aid,
I'm Ian.
and this is Triple D&D. All right, guys, y'all know how we do it. Get that dice roll at the beginning of the app. Ooh, nasty.
6.
Okay.
You rolled yourself a 6, Kool-Aid? I see
Yeah,
what.
it's the worst.
All right.
I'm not attacking anything.
Here we go. An 8.
Ooh, barely.
Ooh.
Barely. All right, well, you gonna go first, sir?
Well,
You're getting crazy,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yo, man, hey. It's
Yeah,
gonna matter when I want to talk about something slap.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you roll that nat 20. And you're like,
the luck of the
cool.
dice is with me now, but those statistics are going to be against me every time now.
When you need it the most. I want to go first. Nay.
All right.
I say.
Well, I guess what I would like to talk about and just get your ideas on are the idea when you're playing a game of D&D, is it worth sacrificing what you believe to be honest character development for your character for the sake of the party? Like, there's a situation where, like, you were like, no, my character, based off, like, how I built him and his backstory and, like, how I know him to think, would clearly make this choice. But you know that choice might put you at odds with the party later. Do you find that kind of gameplay, like, acceptable? Like, or do you think that the party's, like, overall goal, like, individually should all, like, coincide and work together? Like, no one should ever be kind of on the outs of everybody else.
I don't know. So you're asking me, hey, Jean-Luc? Well, honestly, that's a really good question, actually. 2 points to Gryffindor for that.
Appreciate it,
Okay,
appreciate it.
dang, hold up now.
And apparently I'm in Gryffindor. I'll take that, too.
Yeah, right. Hold up. Actually, I think it's funny because I was playing a homebrew game of D&D 5th edition, I think earlier this year. Shout out to Jeff West, the greatest DM this side of the Third Rock.
Uh-oh.
So,
okay.
I know, right?
All right,
I
man, let's
know.
shout that out.
Yeah, right. Y'all gonna have to go to his apartment and fight him for it now. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, actually, right?
We'll give the address after
yeah, right.
this.
Don't worry, we gonna post the GPS. But yeah, no. We actually had a really good game. It was homebrew, like I said, and in the game, we go to a quick mission where we're gonna rescue somebody. Turns out that this somebody is a bigger somebody than we were told. We get into this cave, we fight a bunch of stuff, no issue. We go into this room, and there is the person we're there to save being circled by basilisks who,
Shit.
mind you, don't have their eyes. Because
Well,
they're-
that's better.
Right?
That's a lot better.
Right? But their eyes have strategically been placed around the person we are trying to save. So imagine this. You have basilisks walking in a circle around this person who also has a circle of basilisk eyes inside of that as well.
Looking outward?
Yes,
To
looking
hold.
outward.
Okay, gotcha,
Exactly.
gotcha. You
So-
pass them, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
it.
So we go through all the roles. I mean, you know, we basically use all of our powers to come together as a team and we pop this thing off, right? So we get her. We almost sacrifice a lot, as usual. Shout out to D&D, right? Giving it up. And as we get her out, we climb through this hole in the ceiling, and we end up in this warehouse. And through some checks, we open up some of the stuff we see in the warehouse, and what do we see? Firearms.
Homebrew.
Homebrew. Shout out to Homebrew. So I'm like, oh, snap, you know? And so we're in there, and I'm like, well, everyone's like, well, we don't want to touch anything. And of course, I'm the bard, and I'm like, I go to bard college.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so I'm taking 2 firearms. I'm dual wielding bard. Let's get it.
I, as an educated scholar.
Yeah, right? I need to have these tucked under my shawl. So I go to grab 2, and the guy on our team is like, I don't think you should steal those. Now, I'm thinking, hey, the guy who
And it
hired us
begins.
said this wasn't going to be this type of mission. And then we get down to the basilisk cakewalk downstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. So totally gonna take these guns.
Yeah, yeah, right?
Yeah, like get out of my face.
Especially for the circle of back
yeah,
of them.
obviously.
That's a lie?
Yeah, right? Basiline. We're gonna go with Basiline,
Okay,
right?
alright.
But he fights me. He goes, I don't want that. And he goes, I want to see if I can hit him. And the DM looks at him and he's like, okay. And I'm like, really? You're going to try to fight me to take these guns back? These firearms that I've already made the check for, that I know that these are weapons.
Yeah.
And so at that point, there is the fourth wall is broken.
What
because
is
now,
what is this man's alignment?
obviously lawful stupid.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right, man.
Right?
Sounds about right.
And so, like, there it is. The fourth wall is broke. And now it's like, wait, we are playing together as a team, but are you really fighting me? Like, and so in character, out of character, I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so there's a section in this movement where I'm fighting this guy, and then, you know, other people on the team like, yo, you got to stop this. And they kind of get in the middle and we stop it or whatever. And the DM even kind of like stops it. And I'm just like, wow. So you're going to take it that far. You're going to do it like that. And so in that, I guess, going back to your question, I really believe that is relative to the situation. If you come into any D&D game with this staunch idea, like, I'm going to stick to this and this and this, you're going to get disappointed every time.
Well, I know I've had, like, I've had, like, situations where just, to summarize the situation, basically, because my character at the very beginning hated the gods, or, like, his original story was, like, he was a cleric originally, like, when he was, like, younger, he'd been training to be a cleric, his entire village or whatnot got wiped out by this blight, he's the lone survivor of this terrible, like situation, and he, like, gave up, like, to the gods. He was like, no, like, I don't believe in you anymore. Like, and so he, like, his actual class was a ranger. Like, this is years later or whatnot. Like, so he actually had terrible stats with a bow. But, he hated the gods who were in a temple. I defaced a statue of a god.
Yeah.
Right?
That's something you would do.
Right, like, in a temple that was already suggested, we just found out that, like, the gods were actually not necessarily as good as everyone thought, which totally, like, felt so vindicated.
Yeah, right.
But,
like, obviously.
like, it created an argument, like, that didn't start in the game. It started outside of, like, I had two party members, like, who were like, why would you do that? Like, mind you, they're in the other room. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Why'd you, like, I was like, what, are you talking to me in character or out? Because if you're trying to talk to me in character, you're in the other room. You don't know I've done this.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, like, but why would you do that? And we had this whole conversation. Well, we're trying, like, their point of view for their characters with the, you know, they needed to do the right thing and kind of help the gods. Like, and my character, like, was like, no, if I get the chance, I'm going to say, like, screw them.
Yeah, right.
Like, and then there was this awkward, well, then, do we have different goals? I was like, I mean, my character has its own personal goal, yes.
Right, yes.
Like, and for me, like, I was like, yeah, if he had dealt with it in game somehow, tried to, like, not just jump straight like the other guy to a fight, but tried, like, talking with you in character, or rolling for conversation checks, or, like, trying to do any of the other number of things the game allows you to attempt to do. Like, I was raised, like, hearing, because my parents played, stories of...
shout out to your parents. You hear what you just said, y'all?
Oh, yeah.
His parents played D&D. What your parents do? Going to work?
They met at a D&D game, actually.
Wow.
But, yeah, no, like, yep, if it weren't for D&D, I probably wouldn't be here.
Bro, Triple D&D would like to say Jean-Luc's parents for doing it the real nerd way. Any other way is not real.
And D&D for not suing it.
Yeah, right? Thank you, D&D. We love y'all.
Well, I grew up, like, with stories like they had a grouping where, like, they had a river, like, their party had to cross, and they had this best friend. It was a best friend of theirs, Terry. Like, and he was playing this dark elf character, and, like, he had really great craftsmanship or something. Like, he was able to fashion he was like, listen, all of you are terrible with water. You all have heavy armor. Listen, like, take off your armor. Like, put it in this one, like, bag. Like, I'll go ahead and, like, we built a raft. You all are, like, I can swim it. Why don't you all just tie you all to the raft? And, right? Like, okay, sure. The problem is, he's a dark elf.
Dude,
like,
the moment you said dark elf, I was like, oh, this gonna be
so they let him do it, and he
robbed everybody.
Robbed everyone, killed them, and let them off into their dead bodies would, like, float down the stream. And the campaign was over. Like, yeah, it sucks, but what a great story.
Yeah,
like,
that's sick.
then start again. Because that's what the story allows. That's what the game type allows you to do.
It allows you to use your imagination.
Like,
That was nuts. Yo, he's like, wait. All right, guys, get naked.
So-
now let me tie you to this thing. All right, now lift your neck. This is where the knife goes.
But like you have those players out there who have no interest in like the character play, like, or the role play aspect of the game. They're what I like to think of are called like stat players. They like playing to build a character to have high stats, so it can be more or less a cakewalk for them as they go through it. Like, it's okay, like, but you can do that with a video game.
Exactly.
Like the flexibility here allows you to develop character and make your own story.
Oh my god, you are literally describing Homeboy who tried to fight me. Like, as I think about it, he was like a tabaxi, he was a rogue, his lockpick was super high, which, not to cut you, before we even found the guns in that D&D, we lockpicked a chest, we lockpicked a safe that the guy who told us to go and rescue this chick had. In his safe, he had these plans for this death ray weapon gun thing, and I'm like, damn, this looks bad. Like, he's supposed to be a good guy. Why would a good guy have this in his safe with a key?
A death ray.
Yo, and it was a gun, more or less, that had runes for it. So it's a magic gun. So obviously, this thing probably has the ability to shoot maybe a fireball or something like that, right? Or you could even charge it. And the guy was like, well, let's just leave it there.
Well,
and I'm like, and the thing was, like you said, it was a cakewalk because we were gonna go through all this other stuff and grab these pocket runes and these security runes and all this other stuff, but his lockpick was a stupid high. It's like, okay, cool, but it's like, are you really playing the game?
Yeah.
Are you like you said, are you just a stacker, like a stat stacker?
I totally understand how frustrating, like, having, like, not understanding or like not playing a role playing type character, how frustrating that can be if someone is super role play with it. I for the compromise, and I realized that, like, for the compromise there ended up killing off that character and just bringing in a new character completely.
How was that a compromise? It sounded like you lost.
No, they wanted to keep. They wanted to keep going.
And I killed my character because he won.
No, they wanted to keep going with the character. I was like no, so we had a big battle like the next one after that, right? And we had this big thing. We fought this big demon, and we had gotten this light of a god or something that gave us the ability to res one of our characters. And like, I was about done. Like, I went in like double swords ablaze, and this thing picked me up, skewered me, like, and then like moments away from death. And he was like, "Do you want to use your res?" And I was like, "No." "You don't want to use your res?" I was like, "No. I hate the gods. I would never accept that from them. I would never accept that from them."
I take that. I was like, wait.
So he was like, "All right, you know what? I will give you one additional for that. Like, you're dead, but I'll give you one additional strikeout. Like, let me strike out. Rolled high enough. Like, rolled enough damage. Killed it with that last like fucking blow. So like, we both went down at the end.
Nice.
Like, and it was this great heroic moment for him. And it was a great way to kill him, and like I felt like it was a decent compromise at the time, because I knew if I continued to play that character, there would be a lot more problems.
Touche. See, and you know what? I respect that. Jean-Luc, you are a gentleman and a scholar.
I appreciate that.
Because dang, for a moment I was gonna be like, man, you don't let these dudes push you, but then I was like, your character. Dang, that's right up your character's alley.
Like,
so that's perfect. That's like
I wouldn't
perfect,
let them alter my character, or compromise him.
You can't have him. I'm gonna kill him.
Right? No, like
okay, he going down with the ship. I'll take that.
Yeah. But
all right then, only Jean-Luc would make it. Because for a moment I was like, don't you let these people.
Right? Don't compromise
Don't you
yourself.
compromise to these.
So what I would say to anybody listening out there, just have a nice conversation at the beginning of your game before you start like your campaign, about where everybody stands on like the role play aspect of it. Like, is everybody cool with, like, if someone starts to take a different path, everyone trying to deal with that? Like, or is someone going to have a problem? Like, it's just, I feel like, good to know ahead of time.
Nice.
Like, since I've dealt with that, just an honest, hey, like, I need to know if I need to rein it in a little.
Well, I mean, I also think choosing a D&D game has a level of intimacy to it. Go with me here.
100%.
Right? Because eventually you are like submerging yourself in this story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You are becoming this character. And so you're going to be with these people. Like essentially you're going to deal with these people, seeing them and playing this game together and dealing with them not only as a character but as a human as well.
Well, and when you add in like because I character play and I've played with several people who did this, they have a voice for their character. They have a way of talking for their character, and there's almost a small level of performance there, like that goes with it, right? And there is a definite level of intimacy, like insecurity that like can come with performing. So like to feel comfortable enough with the people around you to kind of crack out of your shell like that. Like I'm totally with you. Like you're spending, depending on how long your campaign is, you're going to spend playing this game with these people for a year or two.
Or more, yeah. I'm going to see you at least a couple times a month.
Yeah.
At this point, we're dating. Like, right? Like, we show up, we hang out, like, we're eating possibly, we're doing this thing, and then, like, afterwards, like, we shoot the deuce, and then I might text you a couple times. Hey, what are you doing? Just thinking about just thinking about this one weapon I wanted. It's going to be really good. Oh, man. So, excuse me.
Gross.
Yeah.
Bodily functions.
Yo,
what
how
the
dare
hell?
you?
I'm gonna edit that out.
Looking at editing being human in this place. Yo, so I personally feel that you can't really get a successful D&D game unless your squad is A, somebody you know, or B, somebody that can grow. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have, like I said, like you got these two guys like, ooh, wait a minute. Same in my situation. This guy, and I'm like...
Yeah, somebody people I didn't know beforehand.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. And it was weird because even when Homeboy tried to fight me, other people in the group were like, in IRL, they were like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, and then even in IRL, they were like, wait. So you guys made it to this safe, past all these guards.
Yeah.
The DM, shout out to Jeff again, had this great idea that the security guards for this fortress place basically had these security rooms. And it's basically like key cards that they had.
Yeah.
We had to like sneak them off of them and open a certain room and do this and this. But Homeboy's stats were so high, we just snuck through a bunch of other stuff.
Unlocked everything.
Went right up to the safe, and he maxed out his, like, he's like, I'm going to do this and this, and just max out. Boom.
Jeez.
Opens the safe. And then we get there, and there is a key, and there is a diagram for this weapon, and it's all this stuff. And I get my Arcana check, and I'm like, yeah, I know this is a weapon.
Yeah.
And this doesn't make sense for the guy who hired us.
The ones with the runes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is this? So he doesn't take anything. I'm like, dude, we broke into, no one knows where he's like, take the stuff, let's go, let's get out of here.
One, you're a rogue.
Yeah.
Two, looting is a huge part of this game.
Exactly. But Homeboy,
it's half the selling point.
Yo, and it's like, but Homeboy slaps my hand, and he like literally, I go to grab it, and he rolls. He's like, yeah, can I roll to see if I shut it faster than he can grab it? And the DM's like, wow. And the cool thing is, a good DM just rolls with it. You know, like, all right, cool. And so, but everybody out there was like, what? Like, you could see it on everyone's face. You're like, so let me get this straight. Y'all make it in there and you don't grab anything?
Yeah, this is a stupid
and
choice,
you're taking this
but
stuff?
okay.
And then you're so active about stopping other people that you won't even allow them. So I roll. He beats me by 1 point. Like 1 point.
Yeah.
And that's with his buffs. That's everything by 1 point. And so it shuts faster than I can grab at it. And it just, he's like, and you touch the metal lightly with your fingers as it slams. But I'm like, at this point, like I said, you go back to your team. Like, granted, his character's doing that, and that's all cool and all, but it's like,
I'll tell you how.
Are you really trying to be? Are you about this, bro? Are you about this?
How I started handling those situations, because after in that same game, the next character I brought in was a bard.
Okay, love bards.
Yeah, no, like
I am a bard.
First
is my bunk card.
First bard I've ever used. This is great. I love like I've put everything with high charisma, right? Like I've made him an old man. He's actually it's a whole other story there. But anyway, what I've started doing in those situations when we're starting to have a disagreement that might lead in that way, I start, instead of like using a spell or whatnot, I start using deception and persuasion checks. I attempt to persuade them, then I attempt to deceive them, and they unless they're have good stats against that, I win almost every time.
Oh my God, Jean-Luc, I love you.
Like
I love you.
That's how you deal with that, like that kind of situation. Okay, well,
he's like, you're a bard. You use your powers, duh.
Oh, you're not gonna let me go over there? Oh, okay. You know what? I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even gonna go over there. I actually was just gonna step to the side over here. Deception check. Well, you as a player don't believe me, but what is your character gonna roll?
Yeah,
Like, what are your
exactly.
buffs? You do believe me. You step out of the way, and I walk past you.
Oh my God. Listen, guys, we are in the dojo here. Jean-Luc out here giving free lessons. I didn't even have to pay for this course because my credit bad anyway.
Just,
Like,
talk your way through the situation.
Yo.
If you can.
Nice.
But
I'm about that. So basically back to your original question, it really, like I said, I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, we would hope that you have a team that you can play with and enjoy. But if not, then you're saying make sure your stats are good enough to beat the people on your team.
Outroll them.
Nice. I'll take that. I'm thinking about all the situations I could have just outrolled homie on.
It's also just to get to know the people in your party, like the players you're playing with. Like, it's great if you know them beforehand. You don't always have that option, right? Like,
Right.
try to get to know them just at least a little bit outside of the game. You don't have to go to dinner with them or whatever, but
Definitely.
it's just good to build camaraderie outside of the game because it goes a long way in the game.
Wise words from Jean-Luc. His book, Jean-Luc, The Real Jean-Luc, is going to be on sale at your local...
Jean-Luc, the real captain.
Right? Straight up. Nice. My turn. I had the lower roll.
It's gonna be dedicated to my number one.
Look good. Oh, snap. All right, so...
What have you got?
What I have is simple question.
All right.
Do you believe
In
that
love?
video?
Sorry.
Do
After
you
love? Sorry.
believe in love? Shared about bust through the window.
I heard it. Could not.
This is no. So video game disorder.
Okay.
Recently, if I'm correct, the World Health Organization announced gaming disorder as a new mental health condition included in the 11th edition of its International Classification of Diseases. So, do you believe that gaming disorder is a disorder, or do you believe that that is just a cover-up for bad parenting? Now, let me drop first before, and then you tell me how you feel. So, the way I was raised, I was raised in a single-parent black household for a little bit, and then I had a stepfather at a young age, like 7 or something like that. So, for a little bit, and then into, that situation. But throughout the whole thing, it was always structured. My mom was like mad military, even though she's not military. She's just like her father. Just, okay, this is going to be clean. This is this way. Strict and focused all the time. Yeah, straight up, right? And I was like, thanks, Mom. Like, as I look back at it now, I'm like, yeah, that was great. At the time, I was like, you're a monster. But, like, but it was great. So, people were able to, like, play video games and hang out and, like, we're going to play video games. And just play video games for hours. Nah, fam. We had one big TV, and Mom was like, you're finna get 1 hour to play. You know what I'm saying? You get your 1 hour to play, and then we'll be on certain days. I wouldn't get to play, and then like on the weekends, if I did real well and my stuff was on point, stuff was clean and everything was on point, I get 2 hours.
Yeah.
Here you go, get this 2 hours on Saturday. So essentially, it took me a year to beat The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on 64.
Yeah.
Because I could only play an hour.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? So I finally get there, but it was great. God. But I mean, what it did though, it allowed me to have some structure where it was like, okay,
gamer cuffs.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Which was good because you think about it as a kid. If I'm like, okay, do whatever the hell you want, you're gonna do whatever the hell you want.
I mean, no, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna and it's gonna ruin your perception of boundaries, I guess, and stuff like that. Because I mean, this disorder basically says things along the lines of, what do we see? Give me a second. They were saying give me 1 second. Okay, so the behavior, right? I think there's 3 characteristics of gaming disorder, right? That they have here. The first is that gaming behavior takes precedence over other activities to the extent that other activities are taken to a lesser.
That is legitimate.
That's legitimate.
Yep.
Now, granted, right? Like if we play now because we're grown ass people, like, hey, I can play 4 hours of God of War because
Yep.
I can.
Yep.
But it's within the time because I'm not at work. I don't have stuff to do. Like, I can do that. And I think, like, as a grown-up, you've made it to that point. But if you're a kid and you get in 4 hours to smash and mom's not like, yo, get this homework done, go do all this other stuff.
Yep.
Dude, what do you expect? Like, what do you really expect? So, okay, let's get to number 2, okay? Let's see, the second is impaired control of these behaviors. Even when the negative consequences occur, these behaviors continue or escalate. Okay?
Okay.
So it's so bad you know it's bad and it don't matter because
Yep.
it's getting badder,
Yep.
right? It's getting
Yep.
worse,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So now you cross the line where mom or dad is giving you too much free time and now they're trying to rein it in because your grades suck. You're probably like mean to people. You're not even engaged with anything. You're just doing this thing.
Yeah.
And now they want to be parents now.
Yeah.
They decide, hey, I want to actually do my job, right? And so now let me rein little homeboy in, but you can't now, right? Because now it's like drugs. I need it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 3, the third feature is, the third feature says the condition leads to significant distress and impairment in personal, family, social, educational, and occupational functioning.
Okay.
The impact is real, he says. Disturbed sleep patterns like diet problems and deficiency in physical activity. It's like, okay, so this is obviously just wheels off, right?
It sounds to me like you're describing depression.
Right.
It's
like,
See, no, it's
not depression.
on some,
so
like-
addiction itself.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
That's just,
yeah.
right? It's
it
just
seems
addiction.
like they just applied it to
games.
gaming.
But it's like you're just but it's like, okay,
There was nothing video game specific in any of those
thank you.
Yeah. Like
descriptions.
I don't feel like that. I don't feel like there is a good enough argument for it yet.
Yeah.
Like, is where I'm at. I don't think it's not a thing, however.
Oh, okay.
I do 100% think in the same way that a slot machine isn't chemically addictive, like you're not ingesting a chemical that makes you, like, trigger, but there are, like, responses that it triggers in your brain. It feels good. Like, you like it. Mind you, there's research done into those kind of things.
Definitely.
And we now
They're
start
really
having...
trying to get you hooked,
yeah,
though. That's
we
what
now
they're doing
start
on
having,
purpose.
like, little flashing lights and instant gratification, like, of little accomplishments. Like, in the same way, like, someone can get addicted to eating too much sugar or something. Like, mind you, sugar is chemically addictive. But, like, it is something that is easy. It feels good. Like, and it helps distract you from whatever's going on.
Yep.
Like, it's no different than somebody having some other addiction that they're focusing on. Or, it sounds less like addiction and more like an obsession issue. Like, and I will say, 100%, my childhood was much different. Small town Oklahoma. I didn't know much people. I played a lot outside, but I never really I don't really know a lot of people who got into sports. But I was never interested in them. And I was never really capped as far as how much I could or couldn't play.
Oh, good.
Like, no.
Yeah, your parents like D&D parents. Like, come on
Yeah,
now. Shout out to
Yeah,
Jean-Luc's
they were
mom,
playing, too.
who plays video games better than your mother.
Well,
We've always known this.
To that, I remember having issues when I was 14 or 15 with my mom. Like, we would be ready to go out to eat. The family is ready to go. And she's playing, as it would happen back in the day, I think God of War 2. And she's on this box, thing where she has to hop across. And, I don't remember exactly how it was set up, but whatever she was doing was clearly wrong. She just did the same thing over and over. But we sat there for an hour and a half while she was like, oh, no, just let me get this done. I can't save here. Let me get this done. I can't save here. No, Mom, we need to leave. I know, but let me get... Well, she's got the keys. You're going to have to look for her. And
oh
I was...
my God. Yo, I've never...
But see,
that's such a specific situation, though. I get you, but I'm
that's why I'm there are clearly, there are other stuff going on, there's some escapism going on for her. But I see how video games can be the tool or the drug, so to speak, that you're trying to use.
And
to
I guess
hide from whatever.
that's all I'm really saying is that thank God it was video games,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
specific
right.
situation could have been anything.
Anything,
Could have
right?
been
Yeah.
anything.
Yes.
Mom's collecting porcelain dolls, bro, and
Yeah.
she can't get them shiny enough. Type, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
like that, like an obsession.
Yeah.
Like, and I totally get that. There have been so many times that I've been playing a video game that I'd been playing probably all day, and like someone's like, "Hey man, you want to go hang out?" And I'm like, "I could," and have no reason not to, but I'm gonna continue playing this game because it feels good. Like, because I enjoy it. I want to know how this story ends. I could totally have paused it, saved it there, come back to it like in
but
3
why
or 4
would I
hours.
want to do
or
that? I
tomorrow.
want to keep playing.
Right, and in those situations, I don't think anything about it. But maybe, I mean,
Okay, wait. So
It-
here's the thing: is it now? But then you start crossing over. Then it's like, do you have a problem, or are you just a gamer? No one says anything to the guy who's like, "Yo, I'm in the gym working out." It's like, okay, cool. He's in the gym working out. It's different for health. But if you're in the gym because, like, you know, the guys in the gym where they got like
Well-
the 18 packs and they're like, "This is all I do. I'm in the gym every day, all the time." It's like it's the same thing, right? You're just a gym rat. Like, so that's your thing, right?
and I'm like, yeah, that's I totally agree with you there. And I think I don't remember what the number was. I remember when it came out, they said like if you like gamers played something like if you played like 20 or 25 hours a week, like that was with like the danger zone of being whatever. And my thought process there is like, but okay, if esports is really becoming is continuing, because it is becoming a huge thing, though those aren't just gamers.
Those
Like,
are addicts, right?
Those are athletes. And you can't tell me that professional athletes don't train probably 20, 25
Right.
hours.
Exactly.
Like, do they have an athletic addiction? Or
Think about the investment too. Like, you can't just take that time like you can apply it to every video game. If there are video games that take a long time to play, then you've got a game that has huge amounts of data that it'll take a while to get through, combined with the cost of the actual game. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play it and other video games for a lot in the week.
Because you're right. It's got so much. It's like, I think back in the day when you were playing games. I mean, even further back in the day, like you're playing what? I mean, what, at the arcade? You're playing a game, maybe getting to the end of that, or you're playing a fighting game where it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, thinking of the different genre of games, but now here we are in 2018. Games have so much more going on than press start, go through the level, and that's it. It's like there's customization, there's building, there's, hey, I want to spend all day today just, like, mining resources. That's all I need to do today. So I feel like it's not the same.
But I almost feel like with that, you have, because there's so many more games and so many, it's such a wider array of gameplay at this point, there are more, switches in your head that they can flick now. Like, which kind of game do you like? Like, maybe the FPSs don't do it for you, but action roleplay, you're there for. Okay, we got you there. Like, it has a wider appeal because the game archetypes are wider now.
Yeah.
Like, you still have your same basic, like back in the day you had, a lot of platforming when you would hop from platform to platform. Right. Now you just have a lot of third-person action open world, and that's your platforming. Yeah, like the Assassin's Creed type setup, or Morador, or Batman. Like, they run basically the exact same way. Like, I don't know. And I think just with that, there's a lot more to, a lot more switches to flip.
Yo. Okay, but then it goes back to what I'm saying originally. It's your upbringing, right? It's your level of training. Like, if you're growing and getting XP as a young one, the person over you or people over you, or to give you the training to get to a place, because you have to know those boundaries. I mean, like, granted, okay, right now, God of War, I'm rolling around the Lake of Nine, killing all the Valkyries. I haven't finished the game on purpose. I'm just really rolling around in it and just enjoying the story itself. Watching Kratos having to tell his kid about... Dang, I'm going to try not to give the spoiler away.
Look, spoilers every time. There will always be spoilers.
We spoil shit.
There will always be spoilers.
We spoil shit. Dude, fucking Kratos having this back and forth with his kid, finally telling him, his kid, yo, you're a god, and I'm a god. And it was just amazing. And there's even a scene where he's there's no dialogue. There's nothing you can click. It's just you watching Kratos rolling through on a boat quietly as he's going back to his house to go pick up his blades after he said, "I'll never do this again." And it's just a silent ride. Dude, I mean, it was gorgeous. I would spend time to do that, but I'm not going to spend all my time and do that and not come over here and do the podcast, or I'm not going to show up to work or something.
Is the overconsumption of art an addiction? I guess is really what that kind of comes down to. Like,
I think it's relative.
Everything can be an addiction, and I just feel like,
but
I feel like
it's discipline. That's literally we are all 2 specks of discipline away from being like fully engrossed by whatever it is you like, right? I mean, food, whatever it is. Like, you don't eat until you die. But
I agree with you, but like, I mean, that speaks to like people who are out there on the street right now. A lot of times it's like they are dealing with an issue from way back when. Like, it's sure their upbringing, like, but it doesn't mean that whatever that it is that they run to isn't addictive. Like, they're just because they had a poor upbringing or didn't have a lot of structure doesn't mean whatever it is they're trying to find isn't in some way an addictive, like, mentally or chemically.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's, again, I don't think for me there's not enough hard evidence to sell me on like that description there that they gave. It was way too vague.
Right.
Like, but I think there is something there. Like,
wait. Then what's the solution? Pills, Jean-Luc?
No.
Get his little dude some Xanax so he can pass. Well, you don't want to play no games now, do you, Timmy? Because you're passed out. Like, what do you like?
Clearly, the first thing they need is better research.
Yeah, because what I don't think they're accounting for is the social interaction that often goes with gaming now. When you're playing a game, you're not like some people hopping online for them is like going out to the bar with their friends.
Dude, exactly.
Like, so when a researcher sees, oh, you played a game for how long? Oh, and it was just you in the room? Okay, well, you haven't been getting out, you haven't been socializing, well, that may not have been getting out, but I've been socializing. Like,
I mean, yeah, shout out to my crew on Destiny 2, the family.
What is the real difference between anyone connecting with someone else online and like a pen pal?
I mean,
obviously speed.
Yeah.
I mean, right, but
obviously
the connection itself.
Having a physical representation of the other person, like, is just kind of different for me. Seeing them interact, they feel a little more real to you. If you see a 3-dimensional form of them moving around and doing what they're saying they're going to do.
So you're just saying having an avatar, right?
Yeah.
I just need a VR avatar, right? Note to self, builds VR avatar. I mean, to a degree, right? At this point. But no, I feel you. But like, that's a really great point, though. Yeah, I mean.
But like, speaking to the, like, it's affected your work or whatnot, or this or that, I'm not going to lie. There have been times that I played video games and I was into a game and I was like, shit, I'm going to have to work tomorrow. You know what? Maybe I'm just going to be sick tomorrow. Like, and you know what? I probably shouldn't have afforded to do that. Like, I probably should have gotten that extra, like, chunk of change in my check. But, like, I was in the middle of that game.
No, you're good. I mean,
no
you
one's
got what
ever
you paid
going to
for.
believe you the next time you call
Right?
Yeah,
But right? No, I swear I'm sick sometimes. But,
right.
like,
Just hope they don't listen to this podcast. Right?
That did eat into my money. That did eat into my job. Like, it does touch on what it is they're talking about. Like, I've let it do that before. Like, I skipped school. Like, Ian knows. There were times like when he would call me,
dude. Oh my god.
And he'd be like, "Where are you?" And I'd be like, "What? Oh no, I'm playing Final Fantasy." What?
Yeah. Keep in mind, we're not like, but like this isn't regular high school. We gotta do plays. There are scenes that I gotta do with dude in class for a grade, like just gone.
Okay. But see, like that's another thing. I did
have a lot of freedom, and that may have been the problem there. I will say that, like, that is part of the problem there.
My mom, as a black woman, would not let that stand. And we're talking about the 90s, 2000s. Bro, I would have got a smooth open hand slap to the face. Really? And it wouldn't even been a physical one. It would have been a verbal one. It would have been like, have you lost every part of your mind? My mom would show up, and I'm at the crib, and I'm not at the school, playing video games.
I think for me, part of the problem was...
scared.
My mom didn't have the moral like high ground when it came to video games to like try to like lock that down.
That's
Like-
crazy. I like it. Jean-Luc is an alien, everyone, from another star system. He just shows up here because we got mangoes.
I do love mangoes, juicy mangoes.
He's like, I visit this star system for one reason only. So it goes back to what I was saying originally. It's a structure. Now, not to say that the structure gets adhered to all the time, but it's there. So I mean, like, okay, case in point, I'm gonna say this about my neighbor. I don't know if my neighbor will ever listen to this. My neighbor's got like 3 boys, right? And his oldest is like I think 5. And he just turned 5 this year. So he's been my neighbor for about a year and some change. So I've seen this kid since he was 4 up. And this kid plays video games. Like, this kid games because he's about to now start school, right? His kindergarten, finally. This kid's been gaming, like, non-stop. He doesn't go to school. He doesn't have to go to school yet, right?
Jeez.
And so he plays everything. And every
imagine
time I
that.
go over, he's up in his underwear playing video games from sun up to sundown. And it'll be like 3 in the morning where they're like, yo, you gotta get off the game. And he's like, no, crash. And he gets back up and he does it again. So my thing is, he's about to start school in August, which is this month. That's later on in the year. I mean, later on this month. So I'm wondering, what's that gonna even look like? Because
How's he gonna deal with that?
How is he gonna deal with that?
I was never like, it was never that bad. Like, at
But I
least as a
mean,
kid,
like,
I had to go to bed sometime.
What do you think
like,
about
at
when you
some
were
point.
3 years old? Was the PS4 wasn't around?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about kids
There
who were
was-
born in it.
Super Nintendo, like I was about to say, when I was 3, like there was Super Nintendo around. Like my,
Super
my
Nintendo,
brother had it.
Nintendo.
I have
Yes.
vague memories of playing it when I was a kid. I was just terrible, and I remember being like, I can't do that. I can't do this.
That's
Flashy
what's up.
lights. I'm done after like 3 minutes.
I can't do this. But I mean, at 3, 4, like we had the NES, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like it wasn't Fortnite. It wasn't online play. You're playing this one cartridge. If somebody's even got a good enough cartridge to play that you want to play long enough, that you could even play long enough. You know what I'm saying? But now,
Well, the finger articulation needed for games now versus like games then is far greater.
yeah, but I mean, you think about the controllers completely. They give you the tools to actually go for the larger the move. So this kid does this all the time. And now, like I said, how are you going to fix that? Without that structure, now you're literally, I feel like you could go into this and be like, now you're going to basically take this guy's obsession away and try to force a level of cohesion between reality.
I mean, gotta do it now, I guess, as opposed to like, because you
no
didn't do it earlier.
You didn't, because think about it, like now this kid has to go to school now. You have to think about other stuff. This is all he's done. 3, 4. Like I've seen like in the 3, like 4 years old, 4 or 5. Gaming. So I'm like, yeah, in that situation, that's totally a different situation, yeah. But it goes, like I said, you don't get the structure.
I mean, but again, I just think like any structure will always like any like a good structure foundation like at like where you came from. I think will always give you a better chance of avoiding the pitfalls of some addictions. Not all. Like I'm not speaking for everybody. I just a lot of times when like people get addicted to something, it's because there's something. It's not the substance really.
Right. So they're missing.
Yeah, there's missing something. Like, and I think I do think okay. I don't know that video games are addictive. I do think they can definitely be the vehicle for addiction.
There we go.
Right.
There
and
we
it
go.
sounds like whoever did this, I forgot who you said it was, but it sounds like they are.
Not in the health organization.
Yeah,
World Health Organization?
The World Health Organization.
It sounds like
The
they're
WHO.
just trying to cater the definition of addiction and make it video game specific. I don't think
the World Health Organization. They're called the WHO. If you think about it.
Are they saying like it's this huge epidemic, or is it just?
What's the guy's name? His name is Dr. Vladimir
who?
Pozniak. He's a member of WHO's Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. So yeah, basically
They're just qualifying a certain type of addiction.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like,
They're just.
but I mean, you realize what happens like this with people who don't go in depth or elevated enough to understand and sift through information, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, this is a thing!" And you know, you got the parents who hear the NBC5 bites, sound bites, and then they go and they throw their kids' stuff away. Shout out to my mom who cut up all my Pokemon cards because she found that they were the devil. Thank you, news media. Dude, I'm like old now, and I still think about that, bro. It's over.
That's love when it hurts, man.
Okay. Well, yeah, sad times.
That's gonna be the name of my album.
love when it hurts.
Oh man, I don't know how to like begin with that. Oh snap! Is that it? Is that our time?
No,
we got more. Oh, we got some more time. All right, well then go on, jump on it then, baby.
Okay. Like so, we were talking. We postponed the conversation about a movie that you hate or dislike strongly, maybe even think is overrated, that everyone else loves. Like just most people, it's socially accepted that it's a good movie and everyone loves it. That you dislike. I'll also accept the opposite. If there's a movie you're like, no, I love this movie, but everyone else thinks it's trash, like, I'll accept the opposite.
I'll take that. Go for it, Jean-Luc. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay, all right. It's gonna kick me, and people are gonna hate me for this. And I want to start this by saying, it's a good movie. It is a good movie. It's very well done. You know, it's great. But
oh my God, I'm excited.
As a kid,
I'm ready for this.
I did not like Toy Story.
Oh,
get the fuck out of here!
Out of here! Yo,
now.
this podcast is over.
I'm sorry. I accept it's a great movie. It's well scored.
Defend yourself.
Tells a great story.
I want to hear it.
My issue, I was all on board. Okay, all right, you know, movie's great, having a good time. Buzz shows up. Okay, things get awkward, and all of a sudden, everybody's just willing to believe that this person, their friend Woody, who they've known through thick and thin at this point, right? Their buddy, has killed this guy, and it's like has fucked him over. Like, and all of his friends turn on him and cease to believe him, and his relationship with him, before that, just doesn't matter because there's a new guy who says something or something seems a certain way. None of his friends give him the benefit of the doubt. And when he goes back to them at the end, I, as a kid, I guess I was just a little vindictive. I was like, I don't think he should have gone back. I, as a kid, was a little hurt by everybody else around him for Woody.
So you were in Woody's boots.
Oh, yeah, no, as I watched that...
Was there a snake in those boots?
Is everyone around him?
Yo,
apparently.
Yeah, right? Snake it up.
But it just, as a kid, made me uncomfortable, and about midway through the movie, I just didn't really like it. I was like, I don't understand. These aren't friends. These aren't friends.
Defend yourself with a full katana too, right? Right? Defend yourself. Slice your way up.
Which is why I wanted to preface it. It is a good movie. It tells a great story. It's well paced.
You know what's funny? Now that I think about it, as a child, I did have a weird energy when the montage of everything became Buzz, and it was just dang, they really did just kick you to the side or whatever.
And I get it, totally touches, you as a kid feel that in moments. Oh, my friend is hanging out with them and they don't want to play with me right now. Oh, I guess I'm you feel that as a kid. It was super relatable, I guess. And I as a kid, I was like, I didn't come here to see a movie for this.
Can you imagine Jean-Luc as a child, righteously pissed? How dare they?
If I can play devil's advocate for just a second on behalf of the other toys.
Okay.
Please, this is amazing.
So, Woody is a sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear is from the future.
It's from, space.
Would you not understand if people were quicker to believe the guy from the future?
I'm saying, you and I have known each other for a while, and if some guy shows up from outer space and is like, I expect you to ride or die with me, I'm gonna be a little upset if you're like, well, I know we're cool and we know each other. I don't really know this guy, but he is from the future and has a cool suit.
I mean,
I would be a little angry.
That's a good point. I'm just saying don't be surprised. They're
No, but I can see that. I could totally see.
They're good toys, just terrible friends.
Yeah, but here's the cool part. isn't that the perspective? Like, isn't that like humans though?
Yeah.
And I think like you got a chance. I think that as a kid, it just made sense to me because I, at the time, was going to a Vanguard, and it was, I mean, full of Dallasites. So there was rich kids and stuff, and it really, that's what would happen. It would be like, oh, this kid's got this, and everyone would be cool with this kid. Now, mind you, I wasn't rich, so I was just like, hey, is this what you guys do? So it just, I felt like it was just normal human behavior. But Jean-Luc says that we need to have heart. And I believe that. Like, that is so
integrity was
his
in check.
integrity, yo. He's like to say, all you are fair weather friends, and I'm not here for it.
Right?
Wow.
Some real shit I did not need.
Wow.
Also, Hunchback of Notre Dame for a very similar reason.
Oh,
But
whoa,
not
whoa,
to
whoa.
say
No.
that.
I'm with you on that.
Yep.
All day. Okay, wait. Thank you. So that exact same feeling that you had as a child, I had that exact same feeling as a child getting to the end of Notre Dame. I was like, so let me get this straight. This guy is the mastermind behind all of your guys' saving, actually. And you're just prepping her up for this guy who had already dumped her really earlier, and you don't get any credit? None credit? And then look, and his resolution was, let me go back to the tower.
Yeah. A deformed freak alone.
Yeah, a freak alone with my fucking maybe imaginary friends. We still don't know if anybody really was talking to the gargoyles. Or
Right,
not. I mean, he could literally just be delusioned the whole time. But no, I feel you. Because in that movie, at that time, as a kid, I hated that movie because I was like, so he didn't get anything. He didn't get anything. Like, he got shat on the whole movie. He was stepped on the whole movie. And then at the end, they didn't even, like, celebrate him as anything.
Yeah.
He just went back to the corner. And I was like, Disney, what the fuck is
The
that?
moral of the story was, if you're ugly, it doesn't matter if you save the girl.
Yo,
like,
and
it doesn't matter.
And it hurt me because as a fat guy, I was like, damn it.
Yep.
I'm never gonna win.
Yeah, as a little chubby kid, I was like,
this is them telling me my face.
Right.
You not gonna win, baby.
They're trying to
gonna win.
they're trying to be honest and be like, you know what, guy, you know what, Uggos, here's one for you.
Yo.
And me as a child Uggo was like, okay,
Yeah, right. I'm not.
no,
Yeah.
it hurt.
Not the Toy Story, but the Notre Dame for
Yeah,
sure.
that's yeah.
It's
That
just
hurt
that shit
me.
was too real.
But
when
no,
was
I give
young.
you points on that Toy Story shot. Like, man, leave it to Jean-Luc to rip a childhood memory open.
Sorry, guys.
And ask, is that real?
Yeah, that was a matter of principle.
Yo, that was really good. I was like, what's Jean-Luc gonna say? Like, really?
Yeah.
What can you really? I was like, wow, that's a slap.
Damn.
I like that.
So, that's
I
fine.
got a movie that I hate,
oh,
and everybody loves this movie, up and down. Princess Mononoke. Hate it. I fucking hate it. You ready? Yeah, Jean-Luc, you better please.
I don't even need one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, I'm over it. Like, so, let me tell you why this movie I can't stand. And right up there with Trigun, I hate it. So,
okay,
Just
I
real quick,
understand Trigun.
you said you're over it. Does that mean that you liked it at one point?
no.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm like at all. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Starts off, right?
All right.
Visually stunning.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Let's go, right? It starts right off with the action, right? Boom, she riding through. Boom, she hitting it. I'm like, oh snap, strong female lead. Let's get it.
Still very entertaining.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's hitting it. So, boom, she gets the poison. It's like, oh, snap. I got to go to CVS and get the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't die. And it's like, okay, cool. And then it becomes this. Like, the tempo is like, yeah. And then it's not hot. The tempo slows down. And it becomes this contemporary, like romance novel, basically. This, like, back and forth. And I'm like, wait. So, we're going to start the killing. We're going to, basically, we got to dispel this beast. All this stuff is happening, and we just, in the middle of all that, let's take a lighter note, everyone, and just talk about love. And, dude, I'm sitting in this...
And nature.
And like, bro, I was so livid. Because I'm like, this... Usually when you see something that visually stunning, it's not that slow of a tempo. And the tempo was already hot. You watch the first 10 minutes of the movie, you think it's going to be like this. And literally after that, it slows down, and it's just this her and him, and it's And then at the end of the movie, it cranks back up. Let's kill the demon. Boom, and we're done. And I was so mad. I was so mad because I waited so long. I was like, man, I finally get to see this movie. People were talking about this movie. Like, as a young nerd, I'm like, obviously getting anime mad Japanese at the time, like, directly. So I'm just like, I'm getting this. Ain't nobody else getting this. My friends are already on this. And I'm on it, and I'm like, what? Because at the time, I mean, you're not chugging movies like you can now. I can download, terabytes worth of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the time, you're getting that, you're getting one file, or you're getting that one VHS, or that one, here you go. And so, and I hated it. I hated it so much because it's like, it had all these ingredients. And you get those ingredients at the beginning and at the end, and in the middle, it's just this long rub, and you're like, really, dog? Really, bro? Really? I get nature. We just saw you going through it. We get it. We get there's gonna be some some romance. But dude, really?
I understand what you're talking about. I disagree with you, but I understand what it is you're talking
about.
Dude,
don't get me wrong. It was like, look, if they take the movie apart and they're like, did the movie do this? Did the movie do this? Did the movie do this? It's like, yeah, the movie did those things. But as a whole, when you put the dish together and you put it on the plate, and I take a bite and you're like, is it good? Yeah, for the first couple of bites, it's good. And then that aftertaste kicks in, like, none more for me. I'm going to go to Jack in the Box.
I totally see what you're talking about. Like, I felt the pacing. I totally see the moments that's like slow down. After he gets the arm shit, like, and he's
dude,
like,
and that was the greatest part, because I'm like,
and he gets to the town. Dude,
right? And you're like, wait, even the poison looks cool the way it's on his arm. And I'm like, oh man, it's pretty sick tat you got there, bro. That's pretty nuts. And then it's just like, but wait, let us grow closer. Couple skate.
I was
like, oh my god, kill me now.
I was totally on board with that movie. Like, I'll also say,
you like couple skate. You wanted to be the other guy. You wanted to be the guy, and you're like, yeah, she's gonna take care of me.
I'm sensitive. What are you gonna do? This is what we learned. For me, when I saw it when I was 10 years old, and it was actually one of the first animes actual animes I ever saw.
Oh wow! And of course, I would hate it, right?
That, like, I had seen. I think before that I had seen Escaflowne, the Escaflowne movie.
Snap! Okay.
Which I love. It's a great movie.
It is actually.
I had seen that. My mom knew that I liked stuff, so she just went out and found one at Blockbuster, picked it at random, and brought it home. And me and all my, because I was older than most of my friends, 9-year-old friends, sat down and watched Princess Mononoke. And I remember us all having a good time, and the moment he pulls out that arrow, and he has, the poisoned arm that twitches, and the arrow fires, and takes a dude's head clean off. All of us, as kids, were like, that is the coolest thing we have ever seen. Right. And I totally get how, it put, you go from there to, now I'm riding through a beautiful field on my way to, Lake Town.
And it's I get it. It's visually stunning. But, as you're older now, and you've seen other anime, and it's that ride to Lake Town could have been way bloodier. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with
dude,
you.
You just took this dude's head off, and then you slow it down, and you're like, look at these flowers. Aren't these pretty flowers? Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, but isn't there blood still on the pavement? I'm trying to see more of that.
I also, for that, felt a level watching it as a kid of kind of social guilt. For the way we as society deal with nature. Because it's a huge metaphor on some parts. Huge.
10-year-old jump.
For that.
10-year-old jump.
And I didn't put, that much thought into it, but when they killed the beast, at the end, the nature spirit, that makes all things green and whatnot, I felt a little guilty for humanity. And I, as a kid, really enjoy, it's the first time I think I'd really, kind of felt that, tingle at the back of me, maybe maybe our society isn't, as great as we think it is. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I totally see what you're talking about. You have your fight at the beginning. You have when Princess Mononoke attacks the Lake Town village, and then you have the final scene at the end.
Literally 3 points, and everything in between is just a wash.
No, I get you.
It's pretty. Don't get me wrong. It's gorgeous.
You've got 15 minutes of action for the whole movie, in a ish.
And if that was the case, I would have read the manga, fam. If you gonna give me some some Romo, come on, man, just put it on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, give me that. I want some romance. Some romance. A little bit of romance. It's like, all right, where's some romance?
You know what it is? That's a good date anime.
Thank you. Honestly, that is the best way to put that.
Like,
because I was expecting, I didn't, and I just, and people...
Find yourself a lovely lady who has or hasn't seen it. Like,
And
if she's
watch
willing
it.
to watch it, then she likes anime at all. She's gonna love it.
And Jean-Luc stay dropping them gems,
With the
boy.
game.
You
With the
better
nerd
get
game.
ready.
Enjoy.
He said, bring your lady friend over, bring your man friend over. They ain't never watched no anime. Gonna pop this in. It's gonna be the craziness, the visualness, the bloody, and it's gonna give you a time.
It's gonna be heartwarming, heart throbbing, you know.
Nice. And
Soul inspiring.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You might even get a chance to play that game like you want it. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of it, you know, it's not the happiest ending, so you know she may need comfort afterwards. You may need comfort afterwards.
Ooh. Jean-Luc, stay prepping you, son.
That'll
be $27.50. We sending y'all invoices to y'all house right now.
You're welcome.
Right now.
The reason I'm
Check
single
your
is because I'm
bank account.
giving all this to other people.
Nice.
All this info to everyone else.
Nice.
Yep,
You know what I'm
yep.
saying? We need to call this the Jean-Luc hour. You know what I'm saying? So figuring out what 10-year-old Jean-Luc. He's like, if you ever think about the perspective of our society, you're like, fam, can you just pass me the gushers? Like,
Well, my thought process, like as a kid though, there was like, wow, people are kind of terrible though.
Yeah.
Like at the end of that, I was like, wow, and sometimes we like. Yeah, because you see them react out of fear and like, you know, I don't know. Like,
that's crazy.
There's also this idea that you can't, if you try to control the world around you and change like everything around you to fit what you want, you'll probably just end up killing like what's good to begin with. Like
10 years old. This man is getting
Right.
this at 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to Jean-Luc's house? Nah, man, we don't play no games. We all philosophical and stuff, man.
You could have had this podcast then.
I get,
Right? Go back in time.
I get over there and I just think and I don't like it.
Right? It's all good, but like we never play anything. We just like read all these books. Who's Nietzsche, Mom?
It's like homework for nerds.
Oh man, this was great. This was great. I feel like now I need a cigarette. You know, after this session, we go outside. Post-coital cigarette, anyone? For sure.